So let's round the back. Let's keep the back rounded now. And believe it or not, we're going to sway from side to side, and you'll feel your weight shift from one knee to the other. And as you respond to that by retaining your balance, you'll also notice that maybe one knee can lift off and the other knee can potentially lift off, but just see how that feels for you. And maybe you need to bring your knees a little wider. Let's do a few more like that, just following a little bit of that balancing, like where does the stability come from? So you are using your core muscles, even in this position, and rocking from side to side. And then come back to center and shift back child's pose. Stretch through the lower back and continue that side to side movement as you inhale and exhale. And then back up onto your hands and knees. Press the knees towards the floor. Sweep the arms wide and up as you inhale. So now again, onto your knees. Sometimes Vinyasa is a little more knee intensive. So see how this is for you. Bring the hands to the small of the back, round the lower back as you shift the forehead forward. Again, press into the knees, arms wide and come up. Exhale. Head rotates to one direction and then lift the chest, come back up, press into the knees. Can you feel the belly draw up and in? Exhale, the other side. Let's do two more. Maybe slow it down a little bit. And one more. Inhale, good. Now stay here. Interlace your fingers, press your palms towards the sky and take about 4 breaths here. Now notice the position of your knees. Is that the most stable you could be right now? Do they need a little bit, do they need to be a little closer? Do they need to be a little further apart? What gives you the most balance? So just take a breath here. And then let's bend our elbows and bring the hands to the back of the head. Let the elbows come wide and lift the bellies. Cindy, somehow I thought you were going to be down here in person. I would love that if that's ever a possibility for you. But I know it's nice to be in your living room. Take another breath in and another breath out. Now gently reach your right elbow towards the sky. Just feel those lateral muscles. Now we worked with these on Thursday. It's a very powerful move this way, because you're not only working the lateral muscles, but your body wants to keep the lower back stable too. So press the right knee back down. Let's do the other side slowly. Just see how this is for you. You feel that, Katie? Where else do you feel the belly's pulling in a little more? And come back to center. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, let the arms come forward. Shift your hips back, child's pose. Take a breath or two here and stretch out through the lower back. And then back up onto your hands and knees. Let's swing our legs around and come onto our backs. Feet onto the yoga mat, arms down by your side. And once again, find the perfect position for now, because it always changes, right, Ronnie? We had that conversation this morning. Schedules change. And so I appreciate all of your fluidity on some of these schedule changes that have been happening over the last couple of weeks. So keep a lookout on your email for further scheduling. Press your feet into the floor and lengthen through your lower back without lifting your hips. Can you press your knees forward and just feel that elongation of the spine? And then release that as you inhale. Now reposition your feet if you need to. And let's do that again. Exhale, press into the feet. Now draw the belly button into the lower back and feel that whole back nice and stable on the floor. And release. And a third time, press into your feet. Draw the bellies in. Now scoop the hips up. Inhale. Now you can go to the fullest if you like, but you can also gradually and progressively get there. Inhale, release as you lower down, and exhale, roll up. So our roommate just returned from 3 weeks on the Camino Alto Trail in Spain. And she went there with an arthritic hip and knee. And so she was explaining to us her journey this morning about how she had to actually modify what she does and walk. She's been prepping for it. But because she was able to do that, she thoroughly enjoyed the trip, as opposed to hammering through, you know, those first 5 days at full speed. So progressively and gradually, we get there, right? We get to the end of the trail. But what condition are we in when we show up? Let's do one more now, and you'll notice that you're at a little bit more range of motion. Walk your fingertips towards your heels. Walk your feet a little bit wider. Draw the bellies in. Feel the tailbone scoop up. And very slightly, once again, shift from side to side. Make sure that feels comfortable for you. Don't always recommend this, but I just want you to feel how the body responds when we go into asymmetrical positioning. So when we move slowly and gradually, it can adjust and accommodate. And then come back to center and slowly release the arms and lower the hips down vertebra by vertebra. Bring the right knee towards the chest and bring the left knee towards the chest, and gently draw the knees in. Extend the legs, straighten the legs up towards the sky, reach the arms overhead. And now feel that same flattening of the lower back, only this time use muscular contraction to make that happen. And as you exhale, the arms come down, the knees bend. Inhale, arms overhead, legs to the sky. Draw the bellies in. Exhale, bend. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Keeping the right knee towards your chest, grab to the back of the right thigh, extend your left foot forward and press your right knee away. So you're interlacing the fingers, the arms are straight. Feel that belly lengthen and draw up and in, and point and flex, both toes. Go ahead and rotate in one direction and the other direction. So we did this last week. Maybe you can feel a little more awareness in how the mobility of the ankles, the feet, and notice if your lower back has lifted off the floor. Can you draw the bellies in? Take an exhale, bring the left knee to join the right. Extend both legs towards the sky, both arms overhead. Inhale. This time exhale as you bend the knees, the arms come down by your side, and a little roll up. Lower down again, arms to overhead, legs to the sky, and exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Feel the full inhalation. And 1 more. Keep your left knee towards your chest, extend the right leg forward. Clasp your hands behind the back of the left knee and straighten your arms. Now draw the bellies in and see if you can find the lengthening of the spine flat onto the yoga mat as you flex and point and flex and point. And then rotate in one direction. And then in the other direction. Notice if that lower back is lifted up and see if you can really feel that move from the inside out. And of course, that's another reminder as we move about the planet. Where do we move from the outside in? And where do we move from the inside out? Where do we move from our inner knowing, inner awareness? And then bend the left knee towards your chest, right knee towards your chest, both knees towards your chest. Stretch through the lower back. Inhale, both arms up. This time, you can do any one of those 3 degrees, but let's have our legs at a little bit of an angle now, shooting about 45 degrees out. Now you feel a slight arch in the lower back. So lift and tone the bellies. Now without flattening the back, feel that stability with this natural curve now, using the same muscular contraction. And as you exhale, roll up as the knees come in. So we're challenging the core a little bit more. Inhale, extend, and exhale. Keep going. Inhale, extend, maybe out a little further, and take your time. See if you can really feel it from the inside out now, drawing the bellies up and in. Slow it down, Ronnie, but it looks beautiful. And one more. Good. Good. Now stay here, stay rolled up, and extend the right leg back in and the left leg. So that doesn't seem too much of a challenge, but the minute we bring our hands to the back of the head and we extend and alternate, and then we can take it one step further and feel our bicycles as we alternate from side to side. Nice, Michael. Good. Release that lower back. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. We'll do a total of 8, 7 and 8. Good. Feel a little warmth, elbows to the knees, and then lower the feet down, arms down by your side. Let your feet come nice and wide. Press into the feet, scoop the hips up, stretch through those quads. Reach the arms up by your ears, overhead towards the top of the mat. Draw the bellies in and lower down vertebra by vertebra. Keep your arms overhead now. And now with the feet wide, drop your knees to the right. So notice this, Michael, with your feet wide, and see if you can find that perfect stretch for you in that left quad. Make sure the knee feels okay. So keep both feet flexed. Now, if you'd like to intensify that a little bit more, you can take your left wrist with your right hand, keeping a slight bend into your left elbow, and draw the upper body towards the right. And breathe into the left side body. Now pay attention. Here we are, asymmetrical. And if you'd like a little more, you can take that right foot on top of the left thigh, deepening the stretch into the left side body. So moving to your level of ability as you take a few more breaths. Remembering that when you bind a pose, or you like hold on to a hand or hold on to a strap or a foot or an ankle to create a closed position, that creates more stress on the joints. And so the muscles respond. So find that level of ability for you and just take a few more breaths. And then as you exhale on that next exhalation, draw the bellies in and feel how the muscular contraction bring your knees back up to center. Let your arms come down by your sides. Feet stay wide, but you might need to walk them a little more underneath your knees. Let's come back into our wide-legged bridge pose. Lift the hips up, reach the arms up overhead. Press the knees forward, back of the neck long, draw the bellies in as we lower down vertebra by vertebra. Keep the arms overhead, keep the feet wide as you inhale. Exhale, drop the knees to the left. This is a fantastic stretch for the day after a big meal, quite frankly, especially in the morning, because you perhaps ate a big meal in the evening, you've rested, the body's done its job, and now you just want to move it through. Really good work on the intestines here, into the large and small intestines. And then flexing the feet, press the knees away. You can reach for your right wrist now and dip over towards the left a little more. You can take it one step further and bring your left heel on top of your right outer thigh, never on the knee joint, certainly on the thigh. Allow yourself to melt into this twist, feeling total integrity into the spine because the belly is connected, the core is connected. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready on your exhale, draw the bellies in to bring those knees back up to center. Release the hands, the arms, bring them down by your sides. This time, walk your feet back hip distance apart. Press your feet in, lift the hips up. Interlace your fingers underneath as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. So feel how you have a little more integrity here into the hips and into the core. Draw the bellies in, press into your left foot, lift the right heel or lift the right knee up towards your chest, but keep the hips stable. That's a bit for the core. So I'm just lifting my heel right now. And then lower the right heel down, release the hands and lower the hips all the way down. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw the bellies in, knees towards your chest. Draw your nose up towards the knees. And lower down, feet to the floor. Let's do the other side. So the feet are hip distance apart, a little closer together. So now you get to feel that balance. Press the feet into the floor, lift the hips, interlace the fingers. So shoulders are stable, feet are stable, hips are stable. A lot of equanimity in this posture, symmetrical posture. Now shift your weight to the right foot and you can either exhale the knee towards your chest, a little more challenging, or just lift the left heel and just have more weight into the right foot. Feel that balance. So see how that is for you, Katie. Take one more breath here. And then lower that foot down. Keep those hips lifted. Release the hands and lower the upper body all the way down to the floor. Good. Bring the knees towards your chest and go ahead and draw your nose up towards the knees. As you lower down, reach the arms out out from the shoulders. Flex the feet, drop the knees to the left as you look to the right. Inhale here. As you exhale, bellies pull in, knees back up to center. Inhale to the right. Exhale, bellies pull up. Now you can let your knees float away for a next level of challenge. Inhale the knees to the left, look to the right. Maybe hover the knees over the floor. Create a little more challenge for the core. Keep the feet flexed. Extra breath here. Exhale, let the bellies pull the knees back up to center. Inhale over towards the right. So find your level of challenge. The knees closer to the chest is a little easier on the lower back because the limbs are closer to the center of the movement. Rotating the head to the left, keep the feet flexed. Exhale, the belly's in, come back to center. Draw the knees to the chest, nose up on towards your knees. Lower down. Bring your feet back down onto the floor. Bring the right knee towards your chest and cross the right foot on top of the left thigh. Press your right knee away and let's open the hips in another direction. Draw the left thigh towards you in a letter 4, or sometimes they call this a supine pigeon pose. Keep that right foot flexed. Level 1, if you want to take it a little further, let your knee float away, let your arms float away from the shoulders. So now your left shin is parallel to the floor. And now you rotate from side to side. So to the left, you tap your right foot down, back to center. To the right, you tap your right knee down. See if this is appropriate for your lower back. Good, or stay here and breathe. You can keep working that ankle, Michael, as long as it's not hurting you, and just begin to explore what's going on there. Good, back to center now. Uncross the legs. Let's come into happy baby pose. So let the knees come wide into the armpits. Grab the inner arches like you're squatting on the ceiling, Michael. Yes, like that. The most unattractive pose on the planet as you rock from side to side. Now there's an optic. Where did I get that word from? Oh, I was watching some Apple thing last night. All right, back to center. Let's do the other side. So we're going to take our left foot on top of our right thigh. We've done quite a bit on our back this morning already, stabilizing into the spine and the lower back. Now, keeping your left foot flexed, draw your right knee towards your chest. Make sure that left heel is on the thigh muscle, not on the knee. Breathe into the belly. So I hope that warmed up the lower back a little bit, Katie. And now we'll do a little more rock and roll. And again, we'll offer options for you. Stay here if you like and keep working that opening of the left hip, or you can let that right knee float away, right shin parallel to the floor, arms out by your side, or out from your shoulders. Keep both feet flexed. So you're keeping the position of the pose, but now we're moving. We're adding that other level of complication. So draw the bellies in to stabilize. This time as you rock to the right, the left foot taps the floor. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left knee taps the floor. And do that a few times. See how that feels. So notice what we're doing here in the lower back. Yes, it's a twist, but now it's a twist with an extra twist because one knee is lifted and over. Do two more. Good. And then back to center, uncross the legs, happy baby pose again, only this time, if you grabbed on the inside, now grab on the outside and rock from side to side. Good. And now when you're ready, go ahead and roll over onto your side and come back up onto your hands and knees. We'll start with a low vinyasa. Doing okay, Cindy, Maria? That was pretty warm-up-ish. And then we'll be a little more active in our vinyasa. And you get to choose what level works for you. Onto our hands and knees now. We're going to come into a little bit of an up dog from our knees. So walk your hands a little more forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. So before you drop your hips down, start with the shoulder blades together, and then guess what? Lift the belly. Then let the chest pull forward. So if you see, hello, if you see, we're doing an up dog. That was a beautiful husky out there. The knees to the floor, but the belly's lifted. So I'm not collapsing in the lower back. And then press the palms in, shift back, child's pose. So take a breather here and just take a little gauge as to how that felt for you. Oh, a little crampage. Breathe and massage. Yes, opening the mouth and making noise is also very helpful when you cramp. Let's do that again. Come forward. First, work with the shoulders, right? Squeeze shoulder blades back, chest lift. Now, this might be enough for you. Lift the belly. This might be enough for you. Shift forward. This might be enough for you. So we added a little half plank here. And then keeping everything the same, simply pull the chest forward. So you're creating length and extension. You're not collapsing in the lower back. And then bring those toes under. Nothing's collapsing. Lift the belly back up. Shift back, child's pose. Take an extra breath here. So toes are under now. Hips are a little more lifted. So walk your fingers onto the yoga mat, so little spider legs, and walk them back so you get a deep stretch all the way down, middle thoracic to the lower part of the spine. Breathe here. So we counter pose an up dog with the down dog, or child's pose, whatever your level. So come forward onto hands and knees or forearms, toes under, lift the hips, down dog, and let's stretch through that cramping calf, Katie. Now you can walk it out here. If you remember, Katie, on Thursday, we also did a lot of elevation in those squats with the heels and ankles. So we worked our calves. And then let's lower the knees to the floor as we inhale. Exhale, flatten the feet, child's pose. Now we'll bring it together. Sweep the arms wide, come on up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the small of the back, head to the right. Inhale up. And exhale to the left. Inhale up, arms forward, forward fold. Up dog here, so roll over, shoulders back, belly in, let the chest pull forward. Exhale, child's pose, toes under. Inhale, hands and knees or forearms and knees. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, heels up. As the heels lift, lift the belly and the sits bones. Shoulders drop down. Exhale, lowering the heels down. Everything stays the same. You get a little longer. And the second time, inhale up. And exhale, lower down. Inhale forward, full plank. Exhale, lower knees, flatten the feet, child's pose. That's our sequence. Elbows back, stand on the knees. Inhale up. Exhale. So keep the inhalation and exhalation with each movement. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Move at your own speed. Inhale up. Exhale, arms forward. Get nice and long. Inhale forward, shoulders down, bellies in, up dog, lift the knees. Exhale, knees down, toes under, child's pose, or actually puppy pose. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, lift the hips, down dog. Come join us next time. Stay here as you inhale, heels lift, belly lifts, sits bones lift. Keep everything lifted and then lower the heels down. Drop the shoulders down. A second time, inhale and exhale. Index fingers in, thumbs in. A third time, inhale and exhale. Keep the shoulders down, bellies in, shift forward, full plank. Exhale, squeeze elbows together, a little baby push-up. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. Now one more time. And now you choose lower down chaturanga or knees and chest. Flatten the feet, shoulders up and back, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down, child's pose. Glide the hands back, stand on the knees, inhale up. Exhale, hands to the small of the back. And again, I'll demonstrate one more time, and then I want you to find your flow. Inhale up. Exhale, belly in, arms forward. So remember, up dog now. Drop the shoulders down, lift the bellies forward. You're already stabilized. Pull the chest through, up dog. Exhale, bring your toes under, downward facing dog. 3 times. Inhale the heels up, belly up. Exhale, lower the heels down, shoulders down, but everything else stays lifted. A second time, inhale. Just feel that stability. Exhale. And a third time. Good. Now shoulders are already down, so inhale forward, full plank. Now stay here as you exhale. We'll change the breath a little. 3 yogi push-ups. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. See if everything can move as one unit, Ronnie. Inhale, belly lifts you back, not your arms. 2 more, we'll do 4. Good, Michael. And 1 more. And then lower down, knees and chest, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Pull back. Now release the hands as you exhale and reach the arms out by your side. Press the pubic bone down towards the floor. Lift the belly. Roll your butt cheeks in. So now I'm asking you to engage your glutes. Reach your right arm down. If you can, reach your left hand to the back of your head, or just keep it down your side and do a lateral cobra. Breathe here. Feel the core work. Feel the diaphragm work. Back to center. You can either bring both hands to the back of the head or both arms down by your side. Exhale, roll to the left. You're just dropping your left arm down. Right hand can be to the back of your head. Keep your chest lifted, thighs to the floor. Feel the core work. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Toes under, shift back, puppy pose, child's pose, or downward facing dog. And now staying down here or lifting your hips up to downward facing dog, take 2 more breaths. And bend the knees, look forward. Let's bring our right foot forward. So you're in a high lunge. Hands can be on the blocks. Good. Good. Now see if, Michael, you can hop that right foot back a little bit more. So both hips are actually, yes, forward. Good. From here now, you've got a couple of options. Draw the bellies in. You can either walk your hands onto your thighs, to your side, or forward and up. 4 breaths here. As you breathe, squeeze towards midline. Beautiful. You already did your own progression here. Squeeze. So if I put my hands on either sides of your hips, could you feel that stabilize? Draw the belly in. Now bring both hands to the back of the head, or keep your arms where they are, and let your torso or your shoulders come a little bit more in front of your hips, like you were sliding down your back body from the back of your head down to your left heel. 2 more breaths. So draw that belly in a little more, Katie. Flatten that back. Then lift from there. Chest lifts from there. Yeah, but see, nothing collapses here. Good. And then release the hands down onto the floor. Step back, down dog or child's pose. Good. So feel how your down dog feels like a reprieve. And then we'll go right into the baby sequence, or the, I'll have to give a name for it. Basic sequence. Let's lower the knees down on the inhale. Shift back, exhale, child's pose. Elbows bend behind you. Let's come and stand on the knees. Inhale up. Now you can reach your arms forward for more strength, or if you're working with lower back issues, reach the hands to the small of the back, rotate the head. If you're doing that, Ronnie, keep the arms by your ears, pull the bellies in to come back up as one unit. Exhale, lower down, head in the opposite direction. And again, inhale, come on up. Didn't do it that time. Exhale, arms forward. Whoop. Good. Come forward, up dog, cobra, plank, whatever feels good, but come from your shoulders first, belly lifted, then your up dog. Yeah. Let's do that again. I didn't cue that very well. Shift back, child's pose. So we start. So whether we're going to come into our plank, actually take a look forward. Whether we come to the plank, whether we come to cobra, or whether we come to up dog, you notice how all of those start with the shoulders dropping down. So that's number 1. Then number 2 is the core engages. So then number 3 is whatever you want to do in that. Or you could take off and go fly, right? So pick one And we'll take a breath in. I'm going to do the up dog version. As we exhale, drop the shoulders down. As you come forward, draw the bellies in. My knees stay down. My toes come under. My shoulders squeeze back. Belly lifts. Chest pulls forward. Then I lift my knees. So the strength is happening in the upper body. There's no collapse in the lower body. Keep the belly lifted. Either drop the knees or keep the knees lifted and shift up and back by pressing into your palms. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here because we did a little slow motion. And then lower the knees down as you inhale. Shift back, exhale, child's pose. So now we'll do it again, right in sequence. Inhale, arms wide and up. We'll do our Vajrasana. So Ronnie, arms forward. They stay right by your ears if you're doing that variation. And then the hard part, coming back up. Other side, either arms forward or hands to the small of the back. Inhale, arms up. There, feel it. Exhale, forward fold. Nice. Now come forward. Let's do up dog. Shoulders down or whatever variation you want. Bellies in, come forward. Chest pulls through. Keep the bellies lifted. Toes under. So now you feel the movement from the chest. Now the belly's lifted. So as the knees lift, there's no compression in the lower back. Beautiful. Good, Katie. That's harder for you on forearms because there's less length. And then lower down. Keep your toes under, puppy pose or child's pose in this position to stretch out the lower back, a counter pose. And then back up to hands and knees, downward facing dog. So you see how we had a few lower backs in the room. So you see how we gradually and progressively stabilized the core and then moved a little more aggressively into the upper limbs. How you doing over there, Mike? Good. I'm loving how you're moving over there. Let's do the other side. Now bend the knees and step your left foot forward. Bring your right toe under. Find the best way for you to get up. Arms by your side is my current favorite because it really cues me to find this full line of energy. Oftentimes when we whip the arms up, we just lose consciousness in this lower back. Yes, good. Now, everyone lean their chest forward a little more. So lean your chest forward just a little more, or shoulders, that's a better way of cueing it. Shoulders, so you good? As the shoulders come forward, draw the belly in. Shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades, but shoulders come forward. Does that make sense? Yes, you can feel this right in here. These erector spinae are working. Glide your left hip back. Your left butt, is that a problem? Yeah. So maybe not as long as stance. You can hop your foot up. Yes. There you keep this bent, or is that not going to bend? Yes. Yeah. Now find your stability there. Drop your chin. Yeah. Now arms can come down by your side, or you can let the arms come forward and up. So see how that creates more stress in the lower back? But now keep your shoulders in front and let the core work. You're doing great. You're working hard. Good. Take a few breaths here. This side looks so flippin' stable. Yeah, draw the bellies in. Take a breath in. Good. Bring your hands back down onto the floor as you bend your left knee and step back a downward facing dog. Good. Now notice in your down dog, can you find that nice long spine, or did you collapse again? Find the long spine, Katie. Katie, it's almost like your lower ribs. Now you can pay, now that you've got more mobility in the upper shoulders and certainly awareness in the lower back and hips, now see if you can find bottom ribs and pull those up and in. Yes. Okay, so let's come and step to the front of the mat now. Step, hop, walk, whatever feels good for you. Katie, I see you have your own technique there. Good, bring your hands onto your blocks. I'm going to bring my hands onto my shin since I don't have blocks today. Bend the knees slightly. Now feel that same extension of the back body here. Shoulders down. Good. Now feel how nice and stable that is. Squeeze legs towards midline. And now the upper body can move about the cabin freely, right? Because that whole torso. So you can let your arms release. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then bring your hands to the small of the back, bend the knees and come to standing. Tadasana. Breathe in and breathe out. Now we're actually going to come to this wall and y'all are going to get a back view. Maybe I should get permission first. Let's do that another time. Put feet on the wall. Instead, we're going to stand. And if you feel like you need a wall to hold on to, you can either come to this wall or we've got plenty of walls here to hold on to. Yep. You don't want to be in front of the camera. Why don't you go over there, Katie? Whatever feels comfortable for you. Yeah. Mike, you're going to need some room for your legs. So next time we'll move our stuff away from the walls. How about over here, Mike? You want to come over here? And I can keep an eye on you. All right. You can close that if you want. Is that too chilly? Yeah, it's got a foot stopper there. Thank you. Okay, let's start with our left hand on the left wall. Left hand onto the wall. Yeah? Shift your weight to your left foot. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bend your right elbow and bring your right hand to the back of the head, neck or not. So this is bound. Remember, this is a little more challenging. Yep, good. Shift your weight to your left foot. As you exhale, bend the right knee up towards your chest. Remember, we were in bridge pose. Keep your knee parallel or your thigh parallel. And now release this right arm up towards the sky. So straighten the right arm up. Stay here, and if that feels stable, begin to bring your attention to your hip points. Make sure those are stable. Feel that lower rib, Katie, move back to the back of the spine. Bend this left knee slightly, and then release your left hand from the wall and bring it up towards the ceiling. Good. Breathe. Now I might come around and make funny faces just to throw you off your center. So stay focused. So we do a drishti gaze. We're going to stay here for 4 more breaths. Now find the right place for your shoulders, Ronnie. You might want to goal post your arms instead. A drishti gaze is almost gazing out through the back of your head, defocusing. So you're really staying stable. Nice, Maria. And then that was a piece of cake, right? Then lower the right foot down, reach both arms up. Let's come to a forward fold. You can either bring your hands to the small of the back or you can let your arms come forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, arms forward by your ears, come back up. Good, Ronnie. Exhale, arms down by your side. Let's go to the other side. So now the right hand's onto the wall. You're going to try an imaginary wall. Good. Shift your weight now to the right foot. Bring your left arm up and bend your left elbow. So what happens in the beginning, the wall just provides you with oh, this is vertical. So you have a little more awareness. So you can stay here, Michael, you can find a wall. As you exhale, bend your left knee. Notice if the ribs are popping out, lower back, curving in. Feel those lower ribs pull up, in, and back, and then parallel those hips. And then extend your left arm up, extend or keep your left knee here, and then release your right arm from the wall. Palms together if you can. Good. Now drishti gaze. Now I know if I went over to Katie and I jumped around, she would giggle and fall over. But there will be a day when that won't happen. Does it feel okay for your shoulders, Ronnie? How about straightening them more and yes. Then feel the shoulder blades drop down and then bring them up slowly as close as they go. Yes, keep the bellies in. Nice, Mike. You got great yogi toes. And then lower the hands down, left foot down. Good. Inhale, arms widen up. Exhale, forward fold. Arms of your choice. Hands can be to the lower back to release lower back. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Bend the knees, arms wide, come to standing. Exhale, palms to the heart. All right, let's come back to our mats. And we'll move that into a sequence. Standing at the front of our mat. There was a moment in time when I would be standing in front of a palm tree and it was real. All right, sweep the arms wide and up. I'm gonna run into it. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Nice, Michael. Inhale, hands onto the blocks or onto your shins. Exhale, in this position, feel that nice stable spine. So part of this halfway up business or Ardha Uttanasana that happens in a vinyasa typically is to realign the spine and really find its stability. So then when you come back to your forward fold, you're nice and engaged. Bend the knees, step back with the right foot. High lunge. Exhale, find your way up. Take your time. We'll do 6 breaths here. This is as far as I'm going today, but I'm still working the ribs to the back of the spine. Good. Squeeze legs towards midline. Good. Notice the difference, Ronnie. The jury's still out, but arms wider, and then you can straighten them more, yeah? Yes, and then what happens is they come down the back body. Then from there, see if you can bring them closer. Yeah, good. Bring the hands back down onto the floor. Now this time, take your blocks. You're gonna hop forward with your hands onto the blocks, lift off the right foot, standing on the left foot, and find that same shape, but now here in Virabhadrasana 3. Square off the hips. Maybe the arms can come forward. Maybe they can come out to your side, but keep the bellies lifted. Breathe here. Drop that right hip, Michael. Yes, so notice what happens when that happens. When this becomes more integrated and stronger, you'll be able to lift this. When this becomes more integrated and stronger, this will be easier. But for now, exactly. And then slowly bend both knees, bring your right foot to join the left at the front of the mat, bend the knees a forward fold. So stretch into that calf, Katie. Inhale, halfway up, arms wide. Bend the knees again, forward fold. This is actually half Utkatasana, and then lift the arms forward. Now I'm being conservative today for my own body, but you can also bring the arms up towards the sky without collapsing in the lower back, and then come to standing. Good. Inhale here. Come to standing, Ronnie. Exhale, palms to the heart. To the other side. Inhale, arms widen up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Find that integration. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with your left foot. High lunge here, however you come into that. Oh, it's really hard to be conservative when you know, when you're working with injury. I get it. Good. Arms forward and up if you choose or not. Good, Ronnie. Did that make a difference for you? So that's just another little reminder. And then little by little, those arms can come closer together. And that's another entryway into your shoulders, the tightness into the upper back. Nice, Katie. Now we'll come forward into Vira 3. So reach the arms forward, hands to the blocks or onto the floor. Exhale, elevate that left leg. And then find that nice stability in the whole torso. Bring your hands to your blocks, Katie. Yeah, so you got up there before you were even stable. So find your stability here, because I watched this wiggle around like a jumpy fish. Yes, keep the belly lifted. Good, good. Now, arms. Yes. So tap your left toe down. So keep the same shape, but just tap your left toe down. Just touch it. Okay, now go from there. Use that as just a little balancing tool. Take 2 more breaths. No, I want it all the way down. Yeah. So now work from there. So this guy gets a little relief. It's like I'm not hanging out on my own. I got that left toe to the floor. 1 more breath. And then lower down, bend both knees, bring your left foot to join the front. Bend both knees, forward fold. Did that make sense, Katie? We can try that again. Inhale, halfway up. In fact, we'll do that in the next class. Exhale, bend both knees, forward fold. Good. Bring your hands back onto the floor. Let's step back into a plank. And see if your plank doesn't feel lighter, easier, more stable. You can also come to your forearms for plank. I will warn you though, a forearm plank is more challenging. Then lower knees and chest, shift back child's pose. Keep your knees underneath for 2 breaths. Flatten those feet. Stretch through the lower back. Back up onto your hands and knees. Now let's feel the difference if your knees come wide. Toes together and shift back. So in this posture, you'll feel it more in your hips, less in your lower back. Notice those moments of wigglies. And just pay attention to them. You can wiggle, certainly, but what if you allow the breath to work to release some of those tight spots as opposed to you wiggling around? And allow yourself to surrender and sink in a little more. Where is there some tightness that you could just relax into right now? And then let's come back up onto our hands and knees. Let's swing our legs around and bring our legs forward and bend our knees slightly. And remember in the beginning how we had our feet a little bit wider. Notice how that gives you a little more pelvic freedom. And then walk your feet a little wider still. See if that feels best for you. Because we're simply going to bring our hands forward. Shoulders down. You can also do it this way, but maybe your lower backs are enough. Same thing, right? Shoulders down, just like we did with up dog. Ribs and core in. Then from here, come forward. Stay there with a flatter back for a few breaths. So I'm doing the variation of when your lower back is a little tweaky. You can stay here, interlace the fingers. Bring either thumb pad to either side of your eye socket on either side of your nose bridge. That feels simply fantastic. Or those that are feeling a little more stable in their lower back, legs can come straight, arms up, and then a forward fold. And then the rest of you can release the flatter back. Release your hands and just let now your head come down towards the floor and feel a little bit more of the stretch into the lower back. That's a nice option, Michael. Very creative of you. You could probably even do that second block a little higher. And Katie, working with that hamstring, it's a nice option for the knee bend. That's even a better idea. Yeah. Good. And then let's bring our hands to the floor. Come on up. Scooch our butt forward. Let's come onto our backs. A little thank God asana here with our knees to the chest. Now feel gravity also give you a little pass. It's like, okay, you can relax because gravity's on your side. But let's engage the muscles one more time as we extend the legs towards the sky, arms overhead, just like we did in the beginning, but feel that lengthening of the lower back. Belly's up and in. Exhale, arms down, knees to your chest. And a second time, inhale. Shoulders down, bellies in, and then we bend the knees, the arms down. So you can use that sequence on any posture. Bring your feet to the floor, reach your hands to the edges of the yoga mat. As you press into your feet and pull those edges of the yoga mat away, do not lift your hips and just lengthen through the lower back by drawing the belly in, almost as if you're going to lift them up. And then release that as you inhale. And a second time, exhale. And inhale. Now you can do that 2 more times, or if you'd like, you can lift the hips up, reach the arms overhead as you exhale. Inhale, lower down or release. And one more time, exhale. Inhale, lower down and release. Good, bring the knees back to your chest again. Give them a nice little hug and then stack knees over hips and let your knees come wide and let your feet track with your knees. So it's almost like a happy baby pose, but the shins are parallel to the floor, right? Now bring your hands to the insides of your knees or thighs. Tuck your shoulders down the back body. Draw the belly in and apply just a little resistance as you draw the knees together for 5, 4, 3, feel the bellies pull in, 2, 1, and release as you open gently. And again, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and inhale, open gently. Release the hands, bring the knees together. Your choice, knees together if your lower back is tender, or cross the right knee over the left. Let's come to our final spinal. Now, before we twist, because we have sacrums into the room, notice what this right knee over the left thigh does to your sacrum. So if you want to keep it a little more stable, you keep your knees parallel. Exhale, drop your knees to the left. Now I'm only going halfway, so I don't completely torque, and I've already worked the core. But go all the way if you like. And when you're ready, on your next exhale, bring your knees back up to center. Either crisscross the left knee over the right, or keep your knees stable and inhale to the right. Breathe here. And on your next exhale, bring your knees back to center. Hug the knees one more time towards your chest, nose up towards the knees. And as you lower down, extend your legs out or extend your legs up towards the sky. Draw the bellies in and slowly lower the legs down. So your choice, depending on how your lower back feels, as we come into Shavasana. Spin the palms towards the ceiling. All levels class here, so we provide lots of modifications depending on who's in the room. This is one of the gifts of Viniyoga. Find that place from the inside out. Find that deepest place from the inside on your next exhale. And then as you inhale, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. And then relax. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, find that spot again or go a little bit deeper. So feel how at any moment you can tap into your inner stability, your inner strength. And then inhale, come to the surface again, wiggle fingers and toes. And let's do one more time. As you relax the hands and toes, exhale, find an even deeper place to settle in. And then when you're ready, come back up to the surface, wiggle fingers and toes. And now this time on your next exhale, let your toes point towards the sky and begin to draw one knee and the other knee towards your chest. As you draw your knees towards your chest, rock from side to side. Go ahead, Michael. You can bring your knees to your chest when you're ready. And then either rock and roll or roll from side to side, roll on your side and come up into a seated posture, and we'll complete for our Saturday morning. So I'm sitting in Vajrasana. You can sit in Sukhasana, whatever's easy for you. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Maria. Find that spot now, right now. Go right in on your exhale. Boom, land. And then come to the surface as you inhale. Sweep the arms wide enough. Let's close as we chant the sound of Om. Always know that you've got that place inside of you at any time for you to call upon, moving from the inside out as we move into a weekend of freedom and fireworks. Stay safe. Namaste. All right. Thank you. Good. Good job. This yoga stuff works.